Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Barriers. I'm your host, Eric Payne. I appreciate you tuning in, but we're going to get right into it tonight, and this is going to piss some people off because this is a real touchy subject. And for a long time, I didn't want to really uh, tell my side because I'm not a big person and I'm not trying to badmouth people. Uh, but any of us that have kids, we all have our versions of what parental life is supposed to be like and actually is like. So if you're a toxic parent, you should be ashamed of yourself. You don't deserve your kids. And when I say a toxic parent, I'm talking about you use those kids as a pawn. You badmouth the other parent, and this goes for men and women. This is nothing to do with me or anybody. I just know that I've had to deal with this, and I've seen both sides of the story because I have friends that have to deal with this. If you can't co-parent, then it just needs to be subject to whatever else so y'all don't have to be around each other. Because when you paint a picture on a parent, whichever kid favors that parent, they're going to treat the other parent like that one. And that's shame on you. So, my story, I have two kids, love them to death, wouldn't change anything about them at all. They're both unique in their own ways, and they're both fantastic kids. Me and their parents, one I don't talk to at all. I haven't talked to her in years. The other one, we get along okay. We co-parent okay. There's just some things that she does that I don't really agree with, but that's okay. Um, so I'll go my daughter's mom. So the last time I really talked to my daughter, the last time I really talked to her, uh, her mom and I, we split up. She was 3, and uh, her mom calls me. She's upset. She's trying to talk to me. I'm talking, and I'm talking. I'm being real courteous. Anybody that knows me knows how I talk to people, and I'm okay. Doesn't matter what the standoff is. But she's yelling at me over the phone. Well, I can hear my daughter in the background because they're in a car. So my daughter's in the car seat in the car while her mom's talking to me the way she is. And I hear my daughter, I want to talk to my daddy. Let me talk to my daddy. I want to talk to my daddy. Her mom goes, no, you can't. Let me rephrase it. Hold on, Eric. I say, okay. She goes, no, you can't talk to your daddy because your daddy doesn't love you anymore. And I could hear the disappointment and the pain that I felt in my heart when she told my daughter that, because that was a bold-faced lie. But that's just how trifling people can be, men and women. Look, a child is not a pawn. You can't move them around just to get back at the other parent because they don't did it, whatever the reason was, it wasn't working. Let it go. It just wasn't working. Y'all have a common ground, and that's the kid. You got to be able to treat the kid just like a normal kid. You know, we go through ugly phases in life where, you have to go custody, you have to go visitation, you have to go child support. I agree with all of that because that helps level the playing field. But don't use the kid as a pawn. If you use your kid as a pawn, shame on you. When I went to prison, I had joint legal custody with my son's mom. And she will bold-faced lie and try and tell you that there wasn't, but it was. Granted, we always had a decent relationship with each other. There was no real hard feelings. But I know that when I look at my son and I try and talk to my son, it doesn't matter what I say. I can give him the world and I will always come last. Only because I missed 6 years of his life. Like a graduation. His mom didn't want me at the graduation. But I've been out of prison almost 10 years and I've been there. Granted, I live in Oklahoma and he lives in another state. But it's okay. He's got his reasons. I'm not going to badmouth his mom to him. I'm not going to badmouth his mom to anybody. I'm just going to tell him that we have our differences. And that's how it should be. You don't badmouth the other parent. Kids don't deserve that. When you put that image on them and you put that in their head that they can use the other parent to get away with certain things, man, that is so hard to come back from, because that kid feels like they have to, they have the approval, they won the approval, so that they can use that for leverage. Don't teach your kids that. That makes them spoiled ass brats. And it'll always put a rift between one parent or the other. What part of co-parenting in a healthy relationship do you not understand? And I know this is going to piss a lot of you off, but that's the facts. If you look at yourself and look at what your co-parenting life is like, if you're doing some of the things I'm talking about, you need to stop. Because if you're doing that, you don't deserve that kid. I've been married prior to where I had stepkids. I love them stepkids. But their parents, their mom did not deserve them. She was toxic as can be. And when we split up, I actually kept her kids for like 2 weeks until their dad could come pick them up. You know what I mean? This is a touchy subject for me, because I know a lot of my friends that are divorced, separated, whatever, and they have to split the child. It's both your kids. It doesn't matter who played what. And I get it. There's toxic people and deadbeat moms and dads. So please don't think I'm riding that horse. There is deadbeat mom and dads out there that don't deserve a second with that kid. If you can't get your life in order to be able to help raise that child, then your best bet's to stay away. My dad adopted me. It was my mom and me and my older brother at the time. The man that I call my dad, I will always visualize him as my dad, because that's the only man that's ever raised me. My biological father has had nothing to do with me. Hell, I didn't meet him for the first time until a couple years ago. But we don't really have a connection. And that's okay. My biological father, he's accepted that. I've accepted that. I'm okay. He's okay. It's okay to be like that. But if you can't parent a child without manipulating the child to hate the other parent, just walk out. Just leave. Just don't have anything to do with them. Just make sure that they got a roof over their head and food in their bellies and clothes on their back. That is all you are good for. And boy, I know I'm pissing some people off, but it's okay. Because you can change it. Put the hatred aside. Put the pettiness aside. Be a parent. That's all you have to be. That's all you have to be. You and the other, you're separated, you're done. They might have moved on, but the kids are still there. Be the healthy one. Because in today's society, it's bad enough how the kids are growing up disrespectful, no honor, no courage. You know, the manliness is just gone in men, and the feminism is just overpowering the country. And I'm not saying women's rights and men's rights shouldn't be equal. 100%, I'm on board with that. But we got to raise our sons and our daughters to be independent and self-sustaining and good, honest people. When you teach them to be manipulative and hateful, that's where it gets bad. But I love you guys. And I know this was kind of a rant, but it wasn't. It was a lesson. Because I need you to be self-aware on how you're raising your kids and your family. You know, my kids are grown. I can't make up for the lost time. I can't help that my daughter's mom didn't allow me to have any contact or be any part of my daughter's life. And now my daughter won't talk to me. But I am grateful that my son's mom, from the time I got out of prison up until now, she's always allowed me to have a relationship with my son. And I'm forever grateful for that. But I love you guys. If you're not following me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go subscribe. Links in the comments. I'm having hats made. If anybody would like to order one, let me know. Let me know what colors. I'll get it done for you. I love you guys. See you next time.